And you know what? We have some wonderful meteorologists back here in the Weather Center who have been trying to answer every one of those questions. There are hundreds of them, literally. So I've been sifting through them since we had our Facebook Live at 2 o'clock this morning, and Jonathon is here to answer some of those. So let's go ahead and bring up our first Facebook question. This is from Connie Zacole Humenic. What needs to happen to get the storm moving again and off the Bahamas? I think this is something, Jonathon, we are all wondering because the Bahamas is just taking the brunt of this storm.
They are, yeah, and it's not a good situation, of course. It was Category 5 over the Bahamas, still a Category 3 just sitting there. The main thing we need is this area of high pressure. We've been talking about how it's weakening, and what that means is right now Dorian, spinning off our coast. It's in no man's land right now. We have this dip in the jet stream well over the northern tier of the United States. That's not going to have an impact on it. And then we had the Bermuda high. Now that high pressure early in the week kind of split. It weakened from being connected with this one way over here towards Denver. That's what was steering it towards Florida. But as it's weakened, it's kind of let its grip of Dorian go. So we need this guy here to kind of slide down a little further southwest and then kind of pick it up to start moving it north again. So we're anticipating that to happen sometime later this morning, hopefully by the afternoon. But this has been one of the most frustrating storms I have ever seen in terms of the steering currents are so weak.
And the National Hurricane Center has confirmed with you that that is supposed to pick up and start moving again later this morning, they said.
Keeping the fingers crossed.
And you guys are just waiting for official word from them every time we get one of these advisories and updates.
Yeah, they have the plane in there now. The Air Force reconnaissance missions are continuing to go. And we're getting those updates every hour, as Troy and Julie have been showing you. And so far, it's still stationary. That jog north, we thought it's just a wobble. We keep on talking about that wobble. We want that to become a trend. Those stronger hurricanes, when they're going through the replacement cycles and of the eye wall, they bounce around a lot. We need that thing to start jogging north.
That's right, Jonathon. Okay, our next question comes from Wendy Ellis, and this is kind of looking forward. Will it pick up strength over water as soon as it does begin to move away from the Bahamas?
So, Wendy, there is a chance for that to happen. And one of the reasons why it is weakening now, it's sat over the same spot for so long, almost 18 to 24 hours. And what it's doing, what was water temperatures around 90 degrees near Grand Bahama Island, now back in the 70s because the wave action is churning and upwelling the cooler waters from deep down into the ocean back up. So it doesn't like that. It needs temperatures of about 80 degrees or higher to strengthen and to maintain intensity. We're back into the 70s in terms of water temperature. What we have the Gulf Stream. Don't have it showing on the map, but the Gulf Stream hanging out right off the coast. We're expecting Dorian to get close back to those 85, 90 degree temperatures in the water. So we could see some strengthening if the eye wall, which is collapsing right now, and you kind of see it over Kirsten's shoulder there, can get open again and kind of take advantage of those warmer waters. We're hoping it doesn't, of course.
Yeah, you think about the water that we have in Daytona Beach or right off our coast. It's usually very warm this time of year. So yeah, jet fuel, as Troy says a lot of times.
Yes.
Okay, our last question comes from Damaris Rodriguez. It's getting slower, so does that mean it's growing? And of course, referring to Hurricane Dorian. So
yeah, we have that slow stationary movement. Troy was just talking about the eye wall replacement cycle. And once these things, I always like to say it's like a hermit crab, how whenever they start to grow, when you had them as a kid or maybe an adult, they're pretty cool. But when they leave their shell, they go and search for the bigger shell. That's pretty much the same thing the hurricanes do. Their eye wall that you see there, that big open eye that we've had, it's not there anymore. So it's replacing itself. So it's throwing away its inner eye wall and it's going to get a bigger eye wall. When that happens, the storms grow and then the wind field expands. So while it's weakening, it's like, all right, we have a Cat 3 now, it's still a powerful hurricane. But as it's weakening, it's also expanding its wind field. So a weaker storm could have even those bigger impacts locally because now your tropical storm force winds are a little further outside of the center of circulation now.
One more reason not to let our guards down.
That is correct, for sure.
All right, Jonathon, thank you for answering all of those questions from our Facebook viewers, and continue to send them to us. We are looking through them and we want to make sure that you have your questions answered. I will send it back to you, Justin and Bridget at the desk.